Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Right, this is the last little bit on this thing, so don't worry. As it says in the thing, who wants a negative rake scraper? I had loads of comments coming about I don't like scrapers, or I'm against scrapers. I'm not against scrapers, and don't get me wrong, I'm not against scrapers, and I recommend if you're buying your sets of tools, a scraper's a good one to buy, and that's why I actually picked these tools as for what they was going to send me, and I asked for I thought I was going to get a normal scraper, but they sent me a negative rake. Okay, so fantastic, it's fine. I said about how I was going to sharpen it. Well, I have sharpened it. I've got a lovely, beautiful single facet hollow grind now, that'll be, because it's done on the wheel. Doesn't matter hollow or flat grind on a scraper, doesn't really matter because you don't use a bevel. Okay. Now the thing is, what am I against? I'm against scraping. I'm not against scrapers, and it's a funny thing really, because it's the most misnamed tool there is, you know, because a scraper doesn't scrape. And this is the thing that annoys me when people come out with the talk about scrapers, and they say about scrapers, but none of them actually tell the truth that a scraper doesn't scrape, it cuts. Okay, but it has a burr that cuts, and that's what does the cutting. That's why with normal scrapers, it has, you raise a burr, it's got a sharp edge like a razor blade, like a scalpel really, sticking up. Doesn't last for long, but it's there. If you come in with it dead on, it's going to, because it's pointing up, it goes in, it grabs, it self-feeds, it gives you a big catch because you've got no bevel support. That's why you always use a scraper, standard scraper, above centre and go slightly down. All you're doing is you're changing it from being upright to being slightly over. Okay, but it still cuts, but it doesn't last for very long. Okay, negative rake, it's done that for you basically. But the only trouble with negative rake, because we've got this very fine edge here, it doesn't hold it for very long. So this won't hold a burr for as long as a standard scraper. Okay, but they don't actually. So it should be called a finishing tool, or a I don't know, a cleaning up tool or whatever, because it's used where you can't. I say have one because it's used in places where you can't always get your bevel, maintain your bevel riding. You'll get a few tool marks. You might get a little bit of torn grain, and this will take it out for you. And if you, I don't have to do that. I have a carbide. Once since I had I started out with scrapers. Since I've had carbide, I haven't needed to with some of my tools. SCH3. Well, I'm not even going into it, but I did sharpen this up, and I did have. I was asked by
Wayne Nikoloff
about how would I sharpen it. Well, I had to actually make a platform up because I've said before, I don't actually have. Just going to put that there so I can show you it's nice and sharp. I'll do another pass on this because it wasn't sharp enough the other day. It was a bit dusty, and we'll see how it sharpens now. I had to make a platform up to go on my. I don't have one because I don't use scrapers, and if I sharpen a scraper, I sharpen it on a belt. I don't normally sharpen on a wheel, okay, because it doesn't need the bevel. So let me just show you first a few cuts with it. And I would definitely recommend. Now, why I'm going on about this so much, right? Now, I've had a look to try and compare with a few prices, and for exactly the same, it's exactly the same thing. This is 10mm thick. It's what was it? Was it 1 inch or 1 1/4? It's a 1 inch. It's a 1 inch. Okay. Now the equivalent of Robert Sorby is £105. Crown don't have a negative rake, but they have a scraper the same shape as that, same dimensions, but it's not negative rake. That's £99. So you're looking around an average of £100 to go and buy a negative scraper of this quality, and this one's £54. So I just think that's absolutely brilliant. And the weight, I mean, this is a heavy tool. It is lovely. It's a beautiful bit of kit. It really is. Right, let me just show you, since I've actually sharpened it. Now, negative rake, of course, we can put it dead on centre. Okay, we don't need to be above centre like we would with other scrapers, normal standard scrapers. Right, I'm going to move that back. I'm going to start up, and I'm just going to have a couple of little. So I've got to get my. That's it. That's back there, so I can get a little swing. Okay, and all we've got to do is come on that centre. Now it's probably a little bit high. I am. I'm a little bit high still. 10mm bar, so it should because it's got a 10mm bar. See? Right, there we go. But this wouldn't matter even if it had to come slightly. If I was slightly below centre. Yeah, look, see? Beautiful. If I was slightly below centre, which if you do that with a standard scraper and you head upwards, you're being one hell of a shit. You really will. You'll get a nasty catch. Your bowl will probably explode and go in half. A negative, because I've got the slow, it won't really matter even if I was up there or if I'm down there. It doesn't matter with negative rake. It's a bit, it's basically foolproof. You've got to do something really, really seriously wrong, and even then I think you'll find it hard to get a catch. And yeah, like I said, if you've got a few lines or a few scuff marks or something in there, let's just say, yeah, we'll grab this carbide here, and what we do is we just rough it up a little bit by just going in and scraping. All right. Now that's scraping. Because this doesn't have a burr, okay, and we're not using the bevel, so that's just scraping, and that's the worst sort of thing you can do, okay, the absolute worst, and that's what I'm against. Right, now let's have a look at what we've done. Right, now you can see, I don't know if you can you see there, we've roughed it up. I can feel it's all rough. I've got torn grain down here. Yeah. Okay, and I've got some marks, some lines and stuff like that. Yeah. So now we come with our negative rake, and all we've got to do, brush the centre and just come round. And it's pretty much a foolproof thing, but the trouble is, like I said, that burr is working away there. There, we've taken that all off. That burr is working away and working away. It doesn't last long. A few cuts like that, especially if you've got something like it's got a little bit of silica there, but that has given a lovely finish now on there. Okay,
just ready for sanding.
So there you go. That's the thing of a negative rake. And yes, it's well worth having, absolutely well worth having. And I would recommend, if you're new to turning and you're starting out with some traditional tools, yes, definitely get yourself a scraper. Negative rake will be a lot easier for you, pretty much foolproof, but obviously you've got to be able to sharpen it, so you're going to need a sharpening system, whether you go for a belt, and in this situation, as I said, a belt doesn't matter because we never use the bevel, so it doesn't matter whether it's hollow grind, flat grind or what. All that matters is that you raise that burr. Okay, now once you're going to buy it like this anyway, it's already got its slope there. You don't have to do the top very often. When it starts to wear back a little bit and gets a bit shorter, all the time it's got the slightest little bit there, it's negative rake. As it gets a bit shorter, then you might turn it over and grind that. And all you do for that, I made a plate up. At least I'll bring you over.
All right, give me 1 minute, guys, and I'll put you over there.
Okay, right, okay guys, so I had to make a plate up for mine because I don't have one, so I just made one quickly. I have a plate, I have one of the Tormek ones, but I have to move this in and out. I don't like adjusting my lathe. I like to have everything set. I can sharpen every single tool I have and I don't have to move anything, and that's the way I like it. I'm very funny about that sort of thing. So this, I've made this plate up, I've made it to the exact length to fit this tool. It's the only tool I'm going to sharpen on here. And for it to set it, all you have to do is put it on, put your wheel up, and just match your bevel. Just look at the side and match where it comes to. Obviously, when I got this, it had a flat grind, so I had to allow for that, taking into account that it's going to take that middle bit out. But a couple of minutes and it's sharp. Now, obviously, the other side is slightly different, so I would have to raise it up a little bit if I was going to touch up the other side. But for this one, it literally is just come up, because it's got a straight edge here, so I'm just coming up straight and then around. that, guys, is that, and that's put a lovely fresh burr straight back on that, and that's it. It's as quick as that to sharpen. Now if you're doing a lot of bowls and you're cleaning up, I'd leave your platform and everything set so you can come over and just give a go. Now a lot of people will say touch them up with a diamond file. For me, I don't. Okay, Lisa, come back round here.
All right, give me a second, guys.
Right, okay, Lisa got you back round there. Yeah, so with a scraper, it won't be quite so bad to come and hone the edge and raise the burr. For me, I don't bother. It's literally seconds on there. You see how quick it is. Put it on there, just turn like that, done. I'll come back and be back at work, and that's got a beautiful burr on there. And not only that, doing that, I maintain that, which is what I like to see. Complete, perfect bevel all the way around. No facets, no dull bits, no other bits, just a complete perfect. Now, I never hone my tools with a diamond file. Reason being, okay, I use a wheel to sharpen my tools. So I have a hollow grind, okay? So now, a lot of people, they'll have their skew, excuse me, they'll have their skew, okay? And they take their diamond card and they go, just touch it up, and they put it on there and they and touch it up. Well, I've got a hollow grind. So if I put that on there and I give that a rub, all I'm going to do is sharpen the very edge and the heel. And straight away, the minute I rub that across that edge, I've changed that bevel. That's changed. That is no longer got that continuous facet and bevel. All I can do is sharpen the tip, and that's not going to be, I don't want that. So for me, I just go back and do a very quick zip zip. I have a jig for it, I put it in the jig, it's all done to size, and it goes zip zip, done, back over, and I'm working. And I find that lasts a lot longer than if I just try and put one of those. It's the same with a bowl gouge. If I take a bowl gouge, I've got a hollow grind on there, okay, that goes round. If I put that on there and I give it a rub, okay, straight away I'm going to sharpen the tip and I'm going to sharpen the heel. I'm not going to actually be able to completely follow the bevel. I'm going to change the edge. For a lot of people it doesn't matter because they use their bowl gouge this way and they're scrape with it, or they just and then rely on a scraper to clean it up. For me, I don't change my bevels. So there you go. That's not knocking anyone. I'm just explaining. That's why, because I was being asked before about honing. No, I never ever do it. Okay, I've got those for one reason, for putting a carbide on, giving a carbide a rub, and that's all that does. Okay. So that's it. So and my plate, if anyone was going to say about my plate, that's it. It goes, fits on my bar system there. I just made that up, solid bit of aluminium. Okay, I just mounted it with a couple of screws, and I've got a locking handle there and an extra little grub screw locker there when I want to properly lock it up. But it just, for that, it will just, oops, sorry, go on. It's actually perfect to the size, so I just let it touch on the wheel, back it up a fraction, and then I can fine tune it when I put the scraper on. But that's it, it's in place. That scraper is the only tool that will be sharpened on a platform, and that's the platform for it. That will have one job, that platform, to sharpen that one tool. And the reason I'm so funny about that is because, as I said, I can take any tool from here and sharpen, and I don't have to move anything. All it is the protrusion of the tool or the jig that I use. That's it, and they all work, every single jig. I've got the Tormek one, the Wolverine and the True Grind. They all work on this system, as well as my own ones I've made up. So that's it, but it's not about that. Right, okay, so who wants one? Then I think you should all get one, and that's why I included it in what I get. Now this set, this whole lot, 8 tools, from Find Buy Tool, came to, I think when I checked their prices, that was £340 something for 8 tools. That's pretty good, because these are quality tools. To buy the equivalent here, you're looking around between £500 to £600 for the 8 tools. Now, £340 is still a lot of money for tools. So what would I actually say you'd need? Right, personally, if you're starting out, right, first thing, definite roughing gouge. That's what you want, a roughing gouge. So roughing gouge is a must. Right, a parting tool. Yes, sorry, that's a skew chisel. That's beautiful, that is. Parting tool, yes, a must. You must have a parting tool, okay? You want a parting tool. Skew chisel, no, you don't need a skew chisel. Get it at a later date, okay? It's not something that's ideal for the new turner. Learn how you use your bevels, then progress and use a skew. You'll find it easier to get on with a skew once you know and understand about bevels. It will just put you off, so don't worry about it straight away. You don't need to. If you've got the money for it, then buy it, but you don't need to. Right, spindle gouge, yes, definitely. Which one? Right, 1/2 inch, okay? A tool can't be too big, but it can be too small, okay? That's just it. It can't be too, so go for the bigger size, 1/2 inch, right? So you want a 1/2 inch spindle gouge, a parting tool, and a roughing gouge. Then you want a bowl gouge. Again, this one's there now 1/2 inch. Of course, I said I'd like a 1/2 inch rough bowl gouge. What I should have said was a 5/8, because 1/2 inch they go 1/2 inch bar. Here in the UK we go 1/2 inch flute. So this actually has a 3/8 flute, which I would have rather the 1/2 inch flute. So the bigger tool, which is this size tool, it doesn't bother me. I've got plenty of them anyway. But go for the 5/8 bowl gouge, because that will handle all your shaping, all your hollowing on any size bowl. Okay. The 1/4 inch is nice. It's a 1/4 inch. And it's a 3/8 bar. It's very nice, but if you're going to start, it's nice if you're doing little bowls like this, but if you're going to start doing something like a 10 inch bowl, you might be 3-4 inches, that you're going to find that's a little bit undergun for it. So like I said, can't be too big, but can be too small. Okay, and that's it. So literally you want 5/8 bowl gouge or 1/2 inch, that's up to you. Okay, 1/2 inch spindle gouge, parting tool, roughing gouge, that's it. And I would say a scraper, okay, for when you're starting out. It will give you that nice, it's nothing more frustrating when you can't get a nice finish on the inside of a bowl. You've done your bit, you've turned it, you've got it to your shape, you love your bowl, but you just can't get rid of that bit of torn grain. You're not quite getting your bevel right, whatever. That will solve the problem for you. And we've seen how easy it is to do. Just put it on, and it's pretty idiot proof, you know. Negative rake one is really, you know, it's a beginner's tool. It really is. It's a beginner's tool. Okay, I know a lot of professionals do, but some people never progress from being a beginner. There you go. Proof's in the pudding, isn't it? There you go. Right, so that's it, guys. That's the end of doing that series. So hopefully, I know quite a lot of people have gone and bought them and have ordered them. So hope you enjoy the tools, guys.
Yeah.
And get making some bowls and everything else. I'll see you on the next one. Toodle pip.
Bye, guys.